Right, let's get back to business. Let's talk about Keir Starmer, the man who wanted longer and harder lockdowns. He's sort of written or recorded, if you like, an open public letter to his son as he reaches the magical age of 18. Well, let's get on my next guest and then we'll talk about whether or not this is good parenting. So welcome to the show to TV psychologist Emma Kenny. Hi, Emma.
Hiya, how you doing?
I'm good. Well, let's have a listen to the Prime Minister's message to his son. Take it away, Keir.
A letter to my son. It feels like only yesterday that we brought you home. So nervous, but so excited for the journey ahead. Today, almost unbelievably, you're already 17. You're taller than I am. And you've grown into a confident, kind, wonderful young man. I remember when we watched Adolescence together, and as a dad, I was tough to see at times. If I had one message for you, and for every other child growing up, it would be this: don't listen to that voice.
Right, he's actually 17, as I said. I thought he was 18, but there he is, Emma. How weird is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that he said that watching Adolescence was tough with his son. I mean, I felt exactly the same when I tried watching it because it was just outlandishly inaccurate. I'm imagining that he's saying that for a different reason, though, nonetheless. But I think that an open letter should at least have some content that makes you feel that you can relate to it. I don't know who his PR is, but they're doing a really awful job of trying to make him seem relatable because he doesn't seem relatable at all. It was quite shallow what he says in that particular context about his child's life, and I think that fundamentally it's about, again, just trying to make us feel like he's more human, but he just comes across as inauthentic.
Yeah, and you're right. I think it's all about Keir trying to show us what a marvellous human being is, what a great dad he is, what a fabulous relationship he has with his son. We go to Arsenal together. You're taller than me now. It only seems like yesterday I brought you home when you were a baby. They're trying to humanise this guy who comes across like a robot, but it's actually, I think, had the opposite effect. It makes him seem like an A-grade weirdo. As I said in my monologue earlier, you know, speaking as an outsider, Keir, what do you think of the human race? I mean, he is strange, isn't he?
Well, one of the things that you said that I think made sense is you said, oh, it's his 18th birthday. So what you were trying to put across was, well, it kind of makes sense that on his 18th birthday, he's making a big public statement because he's got this relationship with his child. And then you're like, no, he's 17, actually. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever that isn't actually
you're right.
his birthday. So therefore you go, well, why didn't he do it on his 16th birthday? And so on and so forth. The reality is, this isn't about telling his son anything. This is about telling us something. And you know, one of the things that Keir Starmer does really effectively in his Prime Minister's role is telling us what to do, telling us how to think, telling us what views are allowed, telling us that we will have certain things that we might not want. He's very good at telling us exactly what we should be doing. And I guess, therefore, the reason he's written an open letter to us all is because he sees himself as our dad. Not the dad we want, but the dad that pushes his opinions on us and doesn't accept that we have any rights of our own. That kind of dad. The ones that none of us liked. The ones that were around the 70s and 60s kind of dad. Yeah.
Yeah, 70s dad, you're right. But, you know, he's in an unusual position, as all famous people are. So if you're a famous dad, a famous guy, and you got kids, it probably gives a new element to your parenting, obviously. I would suggest that Keir Starmer has abused that element there. And his poor kid, his 18-year-old son, must be excruciated today. He must be mortified by this. I mean, in terms of parenting by a guy who's well known to everybody, this isn't very good, is it?
I just think that when it comes down to those really personal connections, and don't get me wrong, I think there's something beautiful about sharing your feelings about your child. There's nothing wrong with that. We appreciate how much we adore our kids. But also, it's what is the content and context, because it doesn't really say very much. It's very surface value. And also, I don't understand the meaning and rhetoric behind it. And I think that's the biggest question. What I want to hear if someone's going to do that is this emotional sweep where I feel connected and I feel a level of empathy and a level of understanding, and I'm understanding why that person's reaching to have that connection. But actually what he manages to say is, I had this fantastic relationship, you know, with my son that I really would have wished to have had with my own father. By the way, my father was amazing. He was incredible with my mother. So he's kind of saying nothing negative about his own dad, apart from they didn't have a relationship. And it made me think, well, maybe that was more on you. Maybe you were the one, because obviously your dad was incredibly compassionate towards your mother. So there was certainly some kind of real connection and compassion within his father. And if there was one thing I'd say about Keir Starmer, it would be, you don't make me feel like I know you or I can like you because I don't see you. And I think that's what I took from it. If I was putting my therapeutic hat on and I was sitting in family therapy and I was listening to that, I would say, how can you think you're saying so much when actually you're saying so little? And that is actually, I think, the statement I would make when I actually internalised what I've just said. That's actually how I feel he comes across every single day when he says whatever he's saying. It's like, you think you're being so incredibly empowering regarding your position and your speeches and what you think's coming across. And we're sitting there going, we don't trust you, we don't hear you, and we don't really see the gravity that you see. And I guess that comes down to the fact that he used to be in the legal profession. We all know that the legal profession has a particular mindset, and very often some of those individuals go into it because they believe that they know better than everybody else, and they don't. And like I said, the lack of empathy that he shows, even when he's trying to be really deep, really visceral, cerebral, emotional, just doesn't come across.
Well, a couple of things there. I mean, first of all, you know, he's made so much play about my dad, my father was a tool maker. You know, he doesn't like to talk about it, but, you know, he says it every other sentence. My dad was a tool maker, well, working class and all that. My favourite story of poverty from his past was, we were so poor that sometimes the phone got cut off. Well, let me tell you, when I was a kid, my family couldn't afford phones. So you want poverty, I'll give you poverty. So he doesn't quite get that working class thing. But, you know, suddenly we learn, oh, this toolmaker dad you're so fond of telling us about, you didn't have a very good relationship with him. So that introduces something new. And then you're right. What he's trying to show us there is, look at me. I am the master of empathy. You know, we all, you know, look how much I love my son. Aren't I one? Taking his parenting, his fatherhood, and turning it into a political ploy. That's what that's about, isn't it?
It's really weird that he would do that, because it is for political gain. It is for trying to get people to see him as more relatable, and that means he's using his son in that way as a prop. Like I said, I'm all for sharing your feelings about relationships. That's wonderful, but it just doesn't feel anything less than surface. And like I said, if my dad or my mum had come out and said things about me, I'd want to know about those kind of tear-jerking moments of meaning that had profound impact. That's what I want to hear. And all I hear is, this is the PR scenario. We've decided this is a good idea. Lord only knows who's being paid to come up with these harebrained schemes. I think probably if you want to take something from the working classes, employ somebody in your PR team from the working classes. I'm not talking about the working classes that Labour pushes. I'm talking about the kids from the estates who grew up, and in spite of their problems and in spite of their parenting at times, in spite of their economic situation, kids I used to work with have got the grit and the mettle and the understanding of people around them. Get one of those in, because you know what? That would make a difference, because people would be able to hear the authenticity. We don't see that right now.
Well said, Emma. Good to talk to you. Thank you very much, as always. Emma Kenny there, TV psychologist. As I keep thinking, you know, I don't know Keir Starmer's kid, of course. Don't know his 18-year-old son, 17-year-old son, but I would have thought that the average 17-year-old lad, would be mortified by that. When I was 17, if my dad had done something like that, I'd have killed him. Seriously, honestly, terrible, terrible, really weird as well. Let me know what you think. 0344499 1000.